They were trying to make me prove I was a girl, and I was 7 years old. I'm like, how do you do that? Hi there, welcome back to the Golden Queers. I'm Johnny.
I'm Des.
And this is our channel about queer life in your 50s and over, and the issues that we encounter along our path.
This video, we decided to answer the gender tag by Wylde. And since 2015, almost 1,000 videos have gone up on YouTube answering these gender tag questions.
That's a lot.
It's quite a lot. And as people who are gender queer, we thought it would be really a good place to start your understanding of our gender
Identities.
Our gender identities and our gender expressions by just going through these questions. We will be putting a link in the description to the original project page and to the playlist that has those 960 some videos.
We're doing this cold. We looked at the prompts, but neither of us have answered them in our heads, I don't think.
Yeah, we don't have prepared answers.
Here we go.
Here we go. First one. How do you self-identify your gender, and what does that definition mean to you? You go first.
I identify as genderqueer / transmasculine. Genderqueer is just me. My gender can be a little fluid if I want it. I present transmasculine. I present in male clothing with a deeper voice. Okay, what's your answer?
I identify as under the non-binary as an umbrella and as agender or androgynous. I don't identify with either gender. There are times when I'm a little bit more fluid and I may feel more feminine or masculine, but most of the time I'm pretty much dead center neither. Second question, what pronouns honor you?
He, him, his. I will accept they, their. Don't call me a she, her, or hers. You?
The grammarian in me was so against the they, them, and I tried all the neo-pronouns and didn't really like them. But as society has evolved to a more generalized acceptance of they, them, I grew to accept it myself. I have also started using the neo-pronouns of e, er, em, because I like those as well. Third question, describe the style of clothing that you most often wear.
Male clothing. I prefer t-shirts and jeans. When I dress up, I like a nice jacket, maybe long sleeves. I wear a lot of denim, and I like black. I like white too, but I'm sloppy, so I don't get very many white clothing pieces. You?
Me, I have a problem with the idea that an androgynous person will be wearing male clothing and not feminine clothing. I also have a problem that my body type doesn't fit masculine clothes that are in the men's section very well. So I tend to buy female clothing from the women's section, but more androgynous style as I can get. The next question, talk about your choices with body hair. How do you style your hair? Do you have facial hair? What do you choose to shave or choose not to shave?
For me, after my mom died, we cut my hair short. I went to the salon and they cut it, and she was so upset that I wanted to cut my hair. I'm like, just cut it. Finally, I decided, well, let's go ahead and buzz it. I wear a buzz cut. I don't shave my legs. I don't shave my armpits, and I have chin hair. It gets a little long and a little stray hairs curl out, and it looks really weird. So I'll trim it, but I like the chin hair. It's sort of a status symbol for me.
And you actually have a little bit of mustache growing out now.
Yeah, because I haven't done anything with the upper lip in a long time.
I stopped shaving my legs and armpits a long time ago. My hair on my head is a little bit more of I'm going through a transition with that right now. In 2006, I decided to buzz my hair down I wanted it completely shaved, which was huge because at that point I could sit on my hair. And I went to the salon and said, I want you to buzz it all off. And they're like, are you sure? are you sure you have so much hair? I'm like, no, I've been thinking about this and I've mentally prepared myself. Since that date in 2006, I've buzzed my hair, and a couple of times I even had it shaved all the way down to skin. I have more hair right now than I usually do, but I'm actually thinking about growing at least part of it back out to braid it, and that has to do with my indigenous heritage and the importance of hair in that community. I'm really working through that, not in terms of my gender, but in terms of my racial heritage. So 5 is talk about cosmetics.
Oh.
Do you choose to wear makeup? Do you paint your nails? What types of soaps and perfume do you use, if any?
This is kind of easy. I don't wear makeup. I've been playing with the idea of doing some accented makeup. I see a lot of other YouTubers do it. I'm not sure if I will. I do not paint my nails or my toes, and we use soap from a vegan soap maker in Phoenix. Shout out to Strawberry Hedgehog. Those soaps keep my body really clean and really nice.
Let's talk about the nail thing.
Oh, the nail thing, yeah. Well, I can't handle the smell of nail polish remover, and I can't handle the smell of the nail polish itself. It makes me sick.
But you really wish you could, right?
Sometimes. My ex used to paint my toenails, and I would wear sandals in the summer, and people would be like, "What's that?" And I'd be like, "Why not?" You know, because they get weirded out when a masculine presenting person wears anything girly, anything feminine, and nail polish is seen as feminine in our society.
And there have been a couple of times recently where you talked about how you wish you could figure out how to.
Yeah.
Because as part of your gender wanting to screw with other people. I stopped wearing makeup in my mid-20s, mainly because of my feminist side saying I shouldn't have to spend all this money and all this time making my face pretty when the guys don't have to.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. Number 6, have you experienced being misgendered? How often? You don't have to go into detail.
All my life. All my life. 7 years old at the C-store, and they were teasing me and saying, "You're a little boy." And I'm like, "No, I'm a girl, and I'm stomping my feet." My brother was there and he didn't even care. They were trying to make me prove I was a girl, and I was 7 years old. I'm like, how do you do that? And as I got older, I dressed feminine, and I wore makeup, and I did all that stuff until I was about like 21. Once I came out, I was 19 when I came out, and started dressing more masculine is when people would call me he and then go, oh, excuse me, you know. I like he, him pronouns. I still get misgendered all the time.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
I get misgendered all the time because my gender is not recognized.
Right.
As by the general public. So it's always ladies and girls and women. It's very rare that I get recognized as an agender person who uses they, them pronouns. Zine community, when I go with Johnny to storytelling events, the great thing about Zoom is that you can put your pronouns right there and people know from the get-go what you are. And we've actually found some places where we could actually join non-binary groups to interact with more people who get it. Number 7, do you experience dysphoria? How does that affect you?
I hadn't been experiencing dysphoria for a while, and recently I have aqua therapy, so I go to a pool and wear a swimsuit, and I have a girl swimsuit, a woman's swimsuit, and I went to change after therapy, and I looked down and I had the wrong junk. I'd forgotten that I didn't have the appropriate junk in place. So for my internal gender, and it's been happening more recently, and I don't know why, but for a long time I didn't have dysphoria.
You didn't have body dysphoria?
I didn't have body dysphoria. I have mental dysphoria sometimes, but for you?
I had body dysphoria until I got my hysterectomy.
Yes. Yay! Woohoo! And what was the hysterectomy for? It wasn't because you wanted to change or anything.
No, I did not get the hysterectomy because of a gender change. They probably would not have ever allowed that. I got a hysterectomy finally because I had enough growth things in my fibroids in my uterus. Because I had very heavy periods, I had very long periods, it affected my hormones all the time. Basically, a couple of weeks of the month, my life was consumed by the feminine aspects of my body. Now, I don't bind and I don't try to hide the curves, but the bleeding and the hormones and the bleeding really was dysphoric for me, especially as I became more and more aware that I really am an agender person. I mean, for the longest time, I didn't even know that was a possibility to identify as. I do still experience the mental dysphoria when I get misgendered. It's like, wait, you're not seeing who I see.
Yeah.
Every time you use those words, you're basically activating my dysphoria because you're seeing somebody other than who I see myself as. 8, talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Would you want to carry a child? Do you want to be the primary caretaker for any children you may have? We are both now too old to give birth.
I chose a long time ago to not have children and made sure I took precautions over the years that I didn't. I like to hang out with other people's children, like our nieces and nephews. I like to visit other children. I did not want my own.
By the time I would say 19 or 20, I knew I did not want to have kids.
Yeah. Period.
No, not going to happen. And the first night we sat and talked, I'm like, I don't want kids. And he was like, I don't want kids either. I'm like, okay.
And we're like, whoa!
Next, number 9, talk about money. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially, if you choose to have one? Is it important to you that you earn more money than any partner you may have? Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Are you uncomfortable when others pay for you or offer to pay for you? We've been together for 18 years. We figured out who pays for what a long time ago, and we've made adjustments over time, and we never really cared which one of us made more or less at any given time. It was just a case of, okay, this is how much money we have, this is which bank account it's going to, these are which bills have to be paid. The first few years we kept individual accounts, and then we got a joint account, and then we phased out our individual accounts because keeping track of all those and having all the fees associated with so many accounts
It was tough.
is not something that people with our financial means can afford to do. And people don't necessarily think about that in terms of when they think about poverty.
Yeah.
Is that you can't afford to have 6 different bank accounts with all the fees that are associated with them.
Yeah.
We trust each other at this stage that nobody's going to steal and run off with the money.
I'm not a fan of money. I don't care about it. At one point in time, I used to, and it was important for me to be the financial provider. But that was a long time ago.
So, question number 10. Is there anything else you want to share about your experience with gender?
Get hip, world. No, I'm serious. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on about gender issues right now. I've done some work around the whole bathroom issue. That's the place where I get misgendered so many times. I choose to use the women's bathroom.
Before the pandemic, we would travel a lot. We would take road trips, whether they were just to an hour away or halfway across the country. And it was always a case of, does this restaurant or gas station look like a safe place for Johnny to go to the bathroom? It's not so much an issue for me, because my curves give me away. I would never try to use a men's bathroom because...
Right, yeah.
The first time I went to an event was in 2016 to a conference that had gender-neutral bathrooms, and I was like, oh my God,
yeah,
this is just the greatest thing ever.
So during all of these trips we've been on, I've been collecting photographs of gender-neutral bathrooms.
Yeah, and in some cases it's a place that has gender-neutral bathrooms, like a business, And in other cases, it's like we go to a zine fest and they put signs over the bathroom and make all the bathrooms gender neutral for the length of the event.
And that's huge for us because zine fests are typically queerified.
So I guess the one other thing I would say about two other things I would say about gender. One is gender has nothing to do with your sexuality. It took me a while to figure that one out, but this whole idea that, oh, if you look like this, you must be a lesbian. And if you look like this, you must be straight. Well, no. How I look has nothing to do with who I get into relationships with, both romantic and or sexual relationships. So gender and sexuality are completely different. You can be a cisgender lesbian. You can be a transmasculine lesbian. You can be an agender pansexual, asexual, aromantic, demisexual. They're all distinct things. But the other thing I want to say is that gender is sometimes evolutionary.
Yeah.
You may feel more masculine or feminine at one stage of your life than at another. Or if you're a more gender fluid person, it could be day to day.
Yeah.
And sometimes even hour to hour, whether you feel more masculine or feminine or more centered. So I was comfortable, I think, as much as I could be comfortable in anything in high school, being more feminine and presenting more feminine. And I was even still presenting more feminine when we got together.
Mm-hmm. You still had your makeup, you had your skirts.
But I became more androgynous in my clothing even before I became aware of non-binary identities.
Yeah.
So gender is a spectrum. You can move along the spectrum over the course of your lifetime.
All I've got to say is these were interesting questions and I enjoyed them. Thank you.
And if you want to answer any of the questions in the comments, feel free to do that. Or if you want to put together your own video, please share it in the comments so that we can go watch it. Do you have anything else to say about gender or about these questions?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. While you're checking out the links in the description and reading other people's comments, please leave a comment of your own. Like and share this video, and if you can, subscribe. If you want to know when our next video is going to come out, hit the little bell. The bell will then notify you when our videos come out.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.